Hello and welcome back to Inquisitor Martyr. Last time we hopped into the Crimson Wanderer and messed up a bunch more Chaos Cultists, and now we get to go back down to the Stormwatchers' homeworld and purge the main base of their troops.
To the valiant efforts of the Crimson Wanderer, the gate of the fort has been secured. I'm moving in.
We are approaching from the north, calling the wave of the unclean. I strongly advise that you wait for the Stormwatchers before you enter.
Until that warp gate is tearing a hole in the fabric of reality, we don't have the luxury of delay.
You know, warp gates are kind of a neat idea. I don't think they're really ever properly touched on in, like, tabletop. I think the only time they ever show up in earnest is as, like, just a objective to hold. But I think they're pretty neat. Of course, they'd be horribly, horribly imbalanced if you were to actually incorporate them into the game. Because it would have to be something like... God, I'm just trying to think. The only way I could say you could balance it is it's like placing a turret somewhere on the map. Cost points, can't move, and then every turn you activate it, you have to roll, and it either does nothing, summons a unit, which runs the risk of giving you infinite units, or it could deal damage to itself and eventually explode. And you could even have it where when it dies, it has a it's kind of like rolling on there's a table, I can't remember which one it is, for vehicles, and when they're destroyed they can explode or just stop working and stuff like that, and you could have that where, you know, it could potentially kill off anything nearby. And then of course you'd have to limit what it can summon, because otherwise you could get it really broken. If it's just like, hey, it can summon really low tier demons, so it's like, oh, here's a squad of nerdlings. Well, I don't think anyone's gonna have a lot of problems depending on where that gate is placed. It may not mean anything. Those nerdlings might get mowed down before they actually get into combat. And of course, you know, you can just keep rolling, and even though your nerdlings are... You could almost recycle the same models, just keep pulling them off and on the table when they get wiped. You know, you have a couple sets in reserve in case they actually survive for more than a turn. You could do something interesting, count it as like a headquarters unit or something to make it so it's high value and it prevents players from wanting to rush with it.
Inquisitor. These abominations here are putting up quite a fight, but we are moving ahead.
Give them no quarter, Fair Master. I'm taking care of the situation down here. Let's say that we meet at the destroyed gate.
Are you willing to bet, Inquisitor, that it will be us who will reach that damned gate first?
Should we make the skirmish even more interesting? So be it. I found you guilty of heresy.
But there's definitely ways you could probably balance it. It's just... it could still get really out of hand. I just like it as an idea, because you could... It could be put in for really any Chaos force. Lost in the Damned, Space Marines, Chaos Demons. Whenever they finally nut up and give us a full Dark Mechanicus. Still waiting on that one. Oh, another thing. I saw this not too long ago. The Games Workshop released, I guess, some of the promo images for the new Sisters of Battle units, and one of them was like their equivalent of a dreadnought, but it isn't. Because if you're familiar with the Grey Knight's Dread Knight, it's pretty much a discount version of the Dread Knight, which just makes me really, really sad. Because the Dread Knight sucks. For people who don't know, imagine a fairly humanoid-looking robot.
According to the tactical calculations, factoring in the current vector of incoming hostiles, the probability of the Stormwatchers contingent reaching the fort is 8.34%.
They are Space Marines. Can make this work. Believe me.
As I was saying, imagine a humanoid robot. Now, remove the head so that it's just kind of a arms, legs, torso, that whole deal. Then take, for the Grey Knight version of the Dread Knight, put a Dread Knight, or the Grey Knight member, the Marine, on the chest of it like a baby carrier, and that is pretty much it. And they did that same thing for Sisters of Battle. I'm just thinking, come on, man. Of all the things you could have done, that's what you did. The model that people have memed and just shit-talked the most, and you sit down and go, yeah, this is the one that we're going to do again. Baby Carrier Part 2, baby, it can't get any worse, can it? Like, yeah, it can. I would have preferred a classic Dreadnought. Because, one, classic Dreadnoughts look sick. Two, they don't get a lot of love anymore. I mean, when you look at the lore and how many just variations there are of Dreadnoughts, I'm just thinking, man, I want all of these. I want some of these to come back, like Dredeos, and there's a few. I just can't remember the names because they're kind of wonky. But you know, I want these things to come back because they're cool. A tactical baby carrier just looks stupid. And I mean, it's 40k, logic goes entirely out the window. But if you were to apply any logic, they're terribly designed. Like, yeah, we're gonna have a vehicle where our pilot has their head, arms, and legs completely exposed, and they're gonna be on the front of the vehicle. Like, damn, just put them on foot then. They're gonna get shot either way.
How are you faring, Grandmaster?
It's such a whack position.
We have lost some battle brothers in this living hell, but our march is unstoppable.
In this case, I want to go your actual chance of success.
War is more than simple arithmetic, Inquisitor, but I don't blame you. Even our own tech marines tend to forget that.
Like, I can kind of see it with Sisters of Battle. Kind of like a penitent engine. I mean, that's... Penitent Engine's design's similar, but not baby carrier. And it would make sense if you were doing that for Dark Mechanicus. Hey, here's a cultist we just shove in.
Preparing to close the tier now.
We are closing on the northern walls. Still, it seems that you have won our wager, Inquisitor.
But having, like, Chaos putting some tortured soul into this machine like that I could picture very easily. But Space Marines, Grey Knights especially, Sisters of Battle, they have the Penitent Engine. If you really need to, upgrade it. Or make a variant. You really think I'm gonna complain about, you know, variations on existing things? No. To me, that makes more sense. At least from the lore perspective, I get it for money, it's not as profitable. But also, you don't have to make entirely new molds, you can recycle parts of your molds. But, you know, having some variation, you know, you don't sit there and be like, hey, so we have, like the Land Raider. You know how many variations of the Land Raider there are? Land Raider, Crusader, Redeemer, Standard Land Raider, I think it's Hyperios? I think there's like a Prometheus one. There's so many, because there's like an electronic warfare version, there's just stupid numbers. But you're not going to sit there and, if you're smart, you're not going to make a brand new model. You're just going to have certain parts that change, like the sponsons. You're going to make it so those are modular. So your production's easy. But maybe I'm just dumb. I don't know. Just wish Sisters of Battle got a better treatment than they got. Still waiting for new Tau stuff. But I think I'd mentioned it before. Tau they need lore. They need, honestly, just something to shake up their existing structure. Because, yeah, we can always make the jokes about their dumb weeaboo space communists. Fine. Can't fault you there. But nothing changes. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Farsight? Or somebody ended up kind of questioning the whole, like, the ethereals, effectively. Because the ethereals, based at least on the Xenology book, which I don't even know if it's canon anymore, they effectively exude a pheromone that lets them brainwash people. And that's pretty cool. And I want to say it was Farsight or someone along those lines who had kind of started to come to that realization and was questioning how the whole, like, Tau society worked. And I'm thinking, damn, wouldn't it be great to have this schism between ethereal loyal Tau and essentially self-determined Tau? And I just really want more stuff for their, I think it's the Guvesa infantry, which is essentially human defectors. I really want more for that, because, once again, yeah, it's kind of like Lost in the Damned, where it's just a mashup of existing factions, but I still want more to flesh it out, to make it feel more interesting and to actually incentivize people. Because as it stands, what incentive do you have to run that? What incentive do you have to run Lost in the Damned? If you're going to run it, you're just going to run standard Imperial Guard.
I found you guilty.
Or if you're going to run Chaos, you're just going to run straight Chaos. You know, there's no justification to be like, ooh, I want to do this outside of it's cool. And I mean, Rule of Cool definitely is a dominating force, but Rule of Cool can only do so much. If something just flat out sucks, it doesn't matter how cool it is if people just don't care. You know, I will take cool stuff, but when it comes at like the detriment of, oh, you have like a 80% chance of losing because these guys just suck compared to their pure forms, I can't really justify wanting to use that. How effective was that? Oh wow, that actually I think was pretty effective. But I also had to consume all my debuff stacks. That explains why it was effective. I do wonder who's gonna get, like, new stuff next from Games Workshop. Oh, there was also the stuff for... Actually, no, I'm gonna save that for my Chaos Bane stuff, because it's more relevant to that. Let's try to get a good hit. That sucked. I should have held out. Can you stop doing your weird gimp chain thing? Also, attack. I feel like whatever AI like prioritizing this game has, they really screw up for the holograms, because they'll attack them for a little bit and then just completely ignore them. Those rewards sucked. Just looking at them, I was already just thinking, nah, those are not going to be worth it.
Impressive work. Your prowess could almost be worthy of a Stormwatcher.
Considering that you are still knee-deep in the dead outside, I don't know if that was a compliment or not.
Initiating teleport sequences. Meet us in the northern corner.
Keep hitting the wrong button to pull up my map.
Stormwatchers, spread out. Pacify the port. Kill each and every traitor you find. This area is mine. Go!
What was this all about?
That mockery of a Grand Master, the leader of the Voidrippers, is very close. We need to take care of that creature for good.
I see. You don't want your brothers accidentally learn the secret of the Voidrippers.
You, of all servants of the Emperor, should know that truth is a blade that needs to be sheathed sometimes to serve you better.
Pain is salvation.
Orcs could do with some new stuff. I keep saying orcs need some love because orcs just... What build variance is there within the orcs?
Well met, brother. Gorn is pleased with the carnage we caused. It's a shame it must end now. You are not even worthy of dying by my hands. I might leave your fate to the agent of the Imperium here. I see that there is only two of you. Unfortunate. The Blood God is expecting a duel. We must even the odds. I never thought that I'd see you manifesting something akin to honor. Your kind has never understood what it takes to be a real warrior. 2 against 2. This is how it shall be done.
Oh no! You're known for your main weakness, backing away from you. Quick, get distracted by holograms. I did not time that right. I did not time that right at all. Also, damn, that hurt. At least he's very close to dead already.
This is over then. The Voidripper incursion has been thwarted, for now at least.
This war has only just begun. You know, I'm not used to showering praise. But I want to thank you for everything you've done here.
You know, I'm not used to asking for anything. But now I'd like to ask you a favor.
An Inquisitor asking for a favor. Now I have seen everything.
I'm only trying to be polite. Brother Keir's Thorn has been part of my retinue for a while now. He has proven himself a very useful asset. I wish to employ his services in the future.
Sergeant Thorn is a dedicated warrior and a very capable Stormwatcher. We could put his abilities to good use here, but I'm not in the position to refuse your request. Especially not after such a glorious day. So be it.
May the Emperor be with you, Grandmaster. We will meet again. I'm certain of that.
Alright, so that is it for now. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to hit the like button, it helps out the channel a lot, and if you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.